how does time horizon of my goals affect the risk I should take?
So time horizon is kind of like that period you have between now and your goal. And so if you have a short time horizon and you can't easily replace that money, you have to scale back the risk. But if you have like a long time horizon, say for retirement and you're 40 years out, you can scale up that risk because that time will over time your volatility will go down when you have that additional time. Like the market, becomes closer to the mean essentially. And so there's also that scaling down of risk as you get closer and closer to the goal. Like for college planning, when the child is a baby, you start super aggressive. And then when they get closer and closer to college, their senior year, you're going to dial back that risk because you want to keep that principal so you have the money there when you need it.
Yeah, it's a really interesting question because if you look statistically, I think you go back to 1880 and look at the market as a whole. It's only had one 10-year losing period. I think that was 10 years that ended in 2009. And so, time kind of alleviates some of the risk. But if you look at every 1 year period, there's a lots of 1 year periods where you lost money. So, if you're trying to save for something in the short term, the stock market can be a really brutal place to do it. Especially 100% into the stock market. Now, the one area that has actually this weird crossover is saving for a house in an area where the house prices are really high and it's very competitive and everybody's putting in multiple bids. I've seen a lot of people take some really crazy risks on a piece of their investment, to try to get their down payment up or what have you. And if it doesn't work, then, they have to wait longer to get their house. But so, yeah, it's very fascinating. The last piece I'd say is that definitely you have to factor in your own risk tolerance. For some people, no matter what, time period you're talking about, whether it's long or short, they want to be really conservative, or in some cases, they want to be really aggressive. So that's another piece too. Is just your own personal outlook on risk and what you can tolerate. But yeah, the numbers basically don't lie. If you got a short term, be careful with investing in the stock market.
Yeah, I have a friend that, he's very conservative with his investments and he's only in his 20s,
Yeah,
but he's 40% stock and 60% bond,
yeah,
but he believes that he can just earn enough money that he'll be fine,
yeah.
essentially.
Now, yeah, risk is not directly related to age. People think it is. I've seen people in their 20s that are super conservative. My my most aggressive client is 93. And so, that's just he's always been that way. It's just what he does. And so, yeah, the part of that, your own risk, your own kind of ability to handle that risk. I'm fairly aggressive. I've been doing this my whole life. I probably won't change too drastically, as I get older. It's sort of what I do. And so that's true for lots of different people.